Hello! So this evening you find me sitting in the Junkers F13 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let's go and have a look at it from outside. This aircraft is absolutely stunning. So it's a replica of the Junkers F13 that's in the Deutsche Museum. And yeah, you can go and find photographs of it online, so it's obvious they've just gone over it with a fine-tooth comb. And it looks stunning. So let's go and have a look inside of it as well. So yes, as you can see, it's like something from Jules Verne. It's very rudimentary, but it's of its era. This aircraft came out shortly after the end of the First World War, and I think it's credited as the first all-metal passenger carrying aircraft. So if we go and look in the back, you can see there's a bench seat here, there's these armchairs that look very comfortable. Obviously you've got quite good visibility. We'll go and close that up and let's see if we can figure out how to start this thing. I've had a look at the checklist. Whether my memory will hold up is another thing entirely. So the first thing we need to do is open the main fuel tank valve, which is over here. Nice squeak noise that made. Next thing is the auxiliary fuel tank valve, which is the one underneath this cylinder here. Next is the fuel selector, which is the... No, this is where I'm going to start to come unstuck, because here it is. It's the wooden one that's hiding behind everything else over here. The fuel quantity floor gauge, we need to check it to make sure we have actually got some fuel, and we do. I mean, look at the quality of the rendering. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Okay, throttle needs to be idle at the moment, so idle. Flight controls free, so we can move the flight controls around. Whoa, it's a good job I checked it, isn't it? Look, the USB has gone up the wall, so I'm just going to disconnect my controller and reconnect it, and my controls have fixed themselves. So there you go, USB in Windows strikes again. Okay, that's thrown me slightly. Okay, so next thing we do is mixture to rich. So I'm going to push the mixture all the way in. You saw the knob move there. I actually did it on my controls on the desk. Fuel pump, manual fuel pump to open. Now we're going to open the throttle a small amount. We are going to push the ignition forwards. We are going to turn the magnetos to 2. And then we are going to wind the engine starter. Okay, did I not wind that enough? Didn't quite give it enough throttle. Okay, it's a shame it doesn't whiz round when you wind it, but there you go. You can't have everything, I suppose. So the next thing we do is the cowl flaps. So there's this, if I go and see it here, there we go. We can pull the lever. I can't actually see outside what the cowl flap lever does. It may not even do anything on this engine because there isn't a cowl to open or close. Other than saying that, there is this vent underneath. Does that move? So let's try that again. No, that's in the same position it was. So I'm not entirely sure that that animates anything. Anyway, where are we in the world? We are at Vilshofen in Germany. So what's the name of the river? The Windorf Passau on the Danube, basically. It's the where the Danube turns into the Windorf Passau. Okay, so let's go and... Now if we look outside, we're rolling already. It's quite interesting. If we put the brakes on, if we put the parking brakes on, we get chocks. If we remove the parking brakes, then the chocks are taken away, which isn't too bad. So this was really designed for operating on grass anyway. So using a runway seems a bit wrong, but there you go. It's worth saying there are many versions of this aircraft to choose from. So some of them do have tail wheels, and there is actually a modern version with the 6-pack of normal instruments to fly by. So I thought we'd just go and have a fly of it. It sounds and looks amazing, doesn't it? It's great fun. I know Microsoft and Asobo sometimes get criticised for dumbing down some of these legends of aviation. But you can't deny that the aircraft are fun. It's like the Junkers F13. It was brilliant fun to fly. Okay, so obviously you have no flaps on this thing. So we roll along the runway. Let's sit up in our seat so we can see out over the nose. Get a face full of flies. Pull back gently and we're in the air. It's worth saying that the aircraft as depicted in the simulator is more powerful than the original. So they've put like a modern engine in it. Having said that, it's not wonderfully powerful. So if we scoot forward so we can see over the wing. Just go and fly a nice lazy circuit. It's from a different era, isn't it? You can just, everything about it is so different than modern aircraft. But it's very, very nice to fly. Guess I ought to avoid the hill. So yeah, getting back to the instruments we were talking about earlier, you have got the speed in kilometres an hour. There's a clock, which is kind of useful, I suppose. So you've got the, I guess this, I can't read German, but I'm guessing this is the cylinder head pressure. And a binnacle compass, of course. The quality of the rendering, though, of all of the metalwork is absolutely stunning. And the sound is probably some of the most impressive sound I've heard in the simulator. Right, let's sit up. See if we can coax this back down onto the runway. Feeling it's going to accelerate all the way. Not quite on the centre line, but better than it might have been. It's very, very cool, isn't it? I really like the older aircraft. So there you go, that is the Junkers F13 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you again soon.